up, friends? Welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing well, and welcome back to our fortnightly episode of What is New in Luxury Beauty. This is when we get together, hang out, and talk about all of the newest, the hottest, and the most exciting new makeup releases and industry news in the world of luxury beauty. And as is tradition, we're going to kick things off with our product pass or yes. This is when I go through all of the newest luxury beauty releases on social media, and I let you guys know, is it going to be a pass or is it going to be a yes? And we're going to get this party started with Chanel, because they've come out with quite a few new releases lately, so we'll do a little bit of a roundup. And the first new release here are these new powders for summer 2024. These are the Chanel Le Beige Healthy Glow Sun-Kissed powders. These are going to be oversized compacts. You have the bronzing powder in the center, you have a blush down below, and then you have a highlighter at the top, so you kind of get a little bit of a 4-in-1. These are released in 5 different shades, so you have 1 that is light, 2 that is medium, and 2 that are deep. I did already pick up the lightest 3 palettes, guys, and I already reviewed them here on my channel, so if you are new here and you want to check that out, I'll have that video linked down below. And I also have swatches of all 5 palettes in that review as well, even though I was only able to pick up 3 of them. These are $95, so I would recommend, if not watching my review, watching somebody's review, because I really only recommend these if every single shade in the palette is a shade that you like that works for your skin tone. A lot of the bronzers, pretty much all the bronzers in this range, do lean rather warm, except maybe the deepest one, but the lighter ones, they lean fairly warm, and I know not all of my subscribers really like that if we are skin tone twins. So definitely check out the review, watch some swatches. The formula is beautiful, blendable, silky, gives a really nice, gorgeous, subtle glow. They're beautiful, but they're $95, so just make sure that it's going to be worth your money. They're a yes for me, but I know for a lot of other people they were a complete pass. Now, a lot of people are asking me, where can I buy these? These right now are available in boutiques, and then I just saw them like maybe an hour ago before I sat down to film. I just saw them pop up on Harrods.com for the UK. They're gonna be available online though, friends, so don't worry. If you like to shop on Chanel.com, if you like to shop at like Nordstrom or Neiman's or whatever it may be, I have a feeling that these are going to be sold at a lot of retailers. So if you want to be alerted when these are released, make sure you subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram. I always let you guys know as soon as I see these drop. And also in the description box down below, I will have links to all of the products that I mentioned in this video. I try and update them as they release, so check down below for a shopping guide, and a lot of my links are affiliate links, so when you shop through them, I do earn a small commission, full disclosure. The next new release from Chanel are their new single eyeshadows. These are the Chanel Ombres Essentielle Longwear eyeshadows. These have been released in 14 shades, and to my knowledge, I think that maybe these are like a talc-free reformulation of what they had before, because if you go to the Chanel website or other retails that sell Chanel, they do have the older versions available, but it does look like most of the shades are sold out. So it seems like these were a reformulation. Like I said, they're releasing these in 14 shades. I was able to go to my local boutique and I picked up 4 of the shades, and I just posted a review for you guys. You know, is this a pass or is this a yes? It's a yes in terms of the quality. I think they did a really beautiful job. The formula is really good, but I think it's a pass if you already have a ton of other single eyeshadows in your collection. Check out my review to see the 4 shades that I picked up, because there's definitely 2 that I really like that I feel are worth the $40, and then the rest of them are kind of like, I might already have those shades in my collection, or just might not be a shade that I really reach for. It's a single eyeshadow, so you know, it has to be something that you really like to buy just one. They're $40 a piece, so pretty expensive, especially as soon as you want 2, it amounts to $80, and then it starts to, you know, really creep into your wallet there. So these are also available right now. At the time of me filming this video, they're only available in the boutiques, but just like everything else, guys, I'll let you know as soon as they launch online. And by the way, if you are new here, I just want to take a quick second to say hi, welcome, my name is Sophia, and I help you shop for luxury. I'm so passionate about luxury beauty, so I talk about it here a lot on my channel. I do this series every 2 weeks, but I also do a lot of new luxury beauty reviews and a little bit of fashion luxury as well. So if you love luxury beauty, hit the subscribe button to join our fam. We would love to have you. And with that, let's get on to the rest of this pass or yes. The other new release from Chanel I also picked up. I feel like the beginning of this video is kind of turning into a haul, but hear me out, guys, okay? I want to tell you about all the new goodies that have been released. The next one is their new fragrance. This one is called Comete. This is a beautiful spring scent. Comment down below if you want me to do more of like an official initial review of this. I did get a sample of this when I went to buy the powders, the Healthy Glow powders, and I really liked it. It's not really like anything else that I have in my collection. The base notes, as described by the internet, are musk. The center notes are heliotrope and iris, and then at the top, what I really like is kind of like cherry and cherry blossom. I really enjoy the distinct almondy scent in here. It kind of makes it smell a little bit gourmand without it being a super sweet fragrance, because I don't really like super gourmand scents. I don't like, you know, Miss Dior, for example. Those are just not really my style. I really do like, however, the mixture of kind of like the almondy scent and that little bit of cherry mixed with the florals. It's really, really beautiful, really nice for spring. It is quite powdery, okay? So if you really don't like any little bit of powderiness in a fragrance, I don't think that you should be picking this up. Also, I will be honest, friends, it's not the longest lasting fragrance. It's not super strong, but it is really nice, I don't know, as like a day fragrance. I really have been enjoying wearing this. I have it on right now during the day, or if you're going to work, if you're going like, you know, to church or somewhere where you don't want it to be super overpowering or you're gonna be around other people. If you have gotten this or if you have smelled it, please let us know whether you like it or you didn't like it and why. And the last new release from Chanel I didn't pick up, and there's a good reason for that. I want to let you guys know that there are a couple new shades that are being added to the Le Beige foundation, one of my favorite foundations, not only from Chanel but just in general in my luxury collection. And the new shades that they are launching, according to what my sales associate told me, are going to have more of like an olive undertone. So for any of my friends out there that have olive undertones, I've heard that it is very difficult for you to find a good shade or one that just is kind of like your perfect match. So yay, they're expanding the range, which is always good. So let me know if you're excited about that. I gotta move on from Chanel because we need to talk about these new fragrances from Charlotte Tilbury. These are the Fragrance Collection of Emotions. According to the brand, these are created by master perfumers and backed by science. Charlotte's new collection allows you to spray on a feeling and manifest magic with the power of scent. The power of scent! The 6 new fragrances are powered by emotion-boosting molecules backed by the IFF's Scent Cube trademark algorithm. As human sense of smell is directly linked to the brain, Charlotte has bottled up the words of love, happiness, sex, energy, empowerment, and calm to immediately immerse you in feeling with a spray. The 6 scents that she is launching are number 1, More Sex, which is a musk and leather scent. The next one is Love Frequency, a floral woody scent. Joyphoria, a warm floral scent. Magic Energy, a citrus woody scent. Calm Bliss, an aquatic floral scent, and Cosmic Powder, an amber spicy scent. And these are going to be $150 USD. I feel like that's a lot, but they're also going to be sold, I guess, as like a travel size for $25 and in a discovery set of 6 for $30. So I guess you can kind of try them all and you can figure out which one's going to be good for you. And these are going to be launching on charlottetilbury.com on April 30th, and it's going to be worldwide on May 2nd. So very, very soon. Okay, these are such a pass from me. I am not interested in these in the slightest. I just feel like this whole release, I hate to be mean, I hate to bash it. It just feels it looks very juvenile to me. The bottles look kind of tacky. I don't like the theme of it. I understand that, you know, they're trying to do something different, and it's like, oh, when you see that bottle and you smell that scent, you maybe like feel a certain way, but that's kind of like all fragrances, right? That is just scent in general. Like maybe when you smell a certain scent, you feel a certain way, or it triggers some memory in your mind, or it triggers, I don't know, like the feeling of comfort, the feeling of enlightenment, happiness. Like a lot of times fragrances can kind of, you know, boost our mood a little bit or make us feel a certain way. It can make us feel a little bit sexier if it's a sexier fragrance. That's just fragrance in general. And also the marketing of fragrances, when you see that commercial and you're like, ooh, yeah, I want to be like on a Mediterranean beach, or like I want to be in a club looking really cool, or whatever it may be, whatever the marketing is, they are selling you that fantasy. So like that is fragrance already. They're trying to take something that just isn't really new and pitch it like it's this cool scientific thing. Almost like how a lot of brands, you know, they take makeup that's like infused with skincare and they try and market it as something that is like this big grand different thing that we should be interested in. It's all marketing. This is like the Axe body spray, but for women. You just have a little bottle of more sex on your vanity and you're just spritzing it over yourself and all the men just come flocking like Love Potion #9. Have you guys ever seen that movie? All of that being said, okay, even though I don't like these and I do think that they're tacky, in Charlotte Tilbury's defense, I don't think that these are necessarily super off-brand for her, because her brand is a little bit kitschy, a little bit tacky, a little bit over the top. It's very like Hollywood. Don't forget, Charlotte Tilbury worked with the Victoria's Secret Angels, and these remind me a lot of like those Victoria's Secret scents that a lot of us used to wear back in the day. I was a Heavenly girl. My sister was a Love Spell girl. Comment down below if you know what I'm talking about. Let me know which scent you used to wear. I feel like these are probably going to be marketed towards a younger generation. The trend that I'm seeing right now is that body splashes, for example, Sol de Janeiro, it's the most popular fragrance brand at Sephora. In fact, I think it's the most popular skincare brand as well. I think that Charlotte Tilbury is going after that audience, the kind of audience that maybe likes something a little bit lighter, very playful marketing, likes to collect fragrances. And I know that these are $150 and that is pretty expensive, but I bet you anything she's gonna sell a ton of the travel size. Have you been to a Sephora store lately? They have so many travel size fragrances, and I do think it is because they have the younger generation coming into Sephora a lot more often now. They might not have the money to buy a $150 fragrance, but they do have the money to buy a $25 travel size that they take with them to school and they put like in their purse or their backpack and they show it to their friends and they share it with their friends. Same thing that I did when I was younger. I could be overthinking this here, but that is the route that I think she is going. I think it is a very smart move. I'm not mad when makeup brands want to come out with fragrances. They do it all the time. Victoria Beckham just did it. It's really not that hard. You just hire a fragrance expert or a famous nose to formulate your stuff. Sol de Janeiro did that. Literally every other brand does that. So personally, I think this is actually kind of a smart move from Charlotte Tilbury, even though I hate them. This next release really confused me when I saw it. These are from Hourglass. These are going to be launched soon. They're 2 new ambient lighting palettes. We have one that looks like it's going to be maybe a mixture of setting powders, bronzers, and maybe a highlighter, it looks to be. And then the other one is going to be more so like blushes, maybe a setting powder, and also once again a highlighter. This confused me because do these not look just like the ones that they launched last year? They definitely launched 2 last year that I didn't pick up, I didn't review. It looked, I don't know, it looked the same. It looked exactly the same. If you pick those up, comment down below, let us know what maybe some of the differences are, because they just kind of look like everything else that they've been releasing. Like, how many powders from Hourglass do we need? This is gonna be a pass for me. I was pretty surprised last year as well. The blush one immediately sold out. Like, it sold out so fast. People were very excited about these. If this is exactly what you've been looking for, by all means pick it up, because I do like these palettes. I just can't really justify this because they do look so similar to other ones that they've launched for holiday time. And once again, okay, I hate to sound like a broken record, stop putting pink blushes in these palettes, or put just one pink blush, and then would it kill you to give us a nude blush Hourglass or something that is in like a brownier or more natural category, whether it be for fair skin, deeper skin, whatever. Like, just come out with very simple neutral palettes, but then make like 5 different shades, like very light all the way to very deep, however many different versions that you need to have. I feel like that would sell. I feel like that would sell, but the problem with that is if you give people the perfect palette, they're not gonna buy these limited edition ones. They're not gonna snatch these up. So I kind of feel like that is their play. Yeah, I don't know. That's the name of the game. That's business, I guess. But these are completely a pass from me. I've seen a lot of comments whenever Hourglass comes out with these sorts of things that, you know, why don't they come out with customizable palettes? And I don't know, maybe it's the same concept. Like, maybe if we just made our perfect palettes, we wouldn't really purchase the other ones. That could be. They did do that, remember, with the eyeshadows, and everybody roasted it. Those videos were actually really fun to watch because they were so ungodly expensive. I don't know why they were, but they were so ungodly expensive. So maybe it's just cheaper to offer it in this format. I don't know. I'm rambling at this point, guys. The other thing that I want to say is that why can't we just get more blush quads, like the Ghost one, which I've shown a couple times in my videos. I love to pull that out and use it. I love a nice little quad or maybe even a trio of blushes. That would be nice. They are launching this other one. I'll put a photo up here. I believe it's called the Rose Gold Edit. That one is available, I think, in the UK at the moment. I haven't seen it launch in the US just yet. I kind of want something like that, but just blushes, so I don't have to worry about the, like, you know, super yellow bronzer or whatever else they're gonna put in there. Just give us a nice little blush palette. That's what I would like, okay? But whatever, rant over. Quick little update for you all, because in the last episode we did chat about Dolce & Gabbana Beauty. They came out with the skin tint, they came out with the lip oil, they came out with a couple different things, but I don't think I told you guys about these new bronzers and blushes. So they have new bronzers in 5 different shades. They're all available at Saks, I believe, and then you can also get them off of the Dolce & Gabbana website. They also have 6 new blushes. They have the Shimmering Fig Skin Perfector, which is, I guess it's sort of supposed to be like the Hourglass powders. So all of these are now available. I'll put all the links down below. And my other update is that I bought all of it, okay? These were all a Yasss. In the last episode, I told you I'm only gonna get the skin tint. I'm just like gonna pass on everything else. But I'm really curious and I really wanna do a full Dolce & Gabbana Beauty brand review for you all. So I picked up almost everything. I even got one of the liquid lipsticks, the eyeliners, I got the skin perfector, I got the lightest bronzer, one of the blushes, the mascara. I literally got everything except eyeshadows. And let me tell you, I am so excited for this video because some of the products are really, really good. Some of the products are like, meh, pretty good, and some of the products are so bad. So it's gonna be such a fun review. Don't buy anything. Don't buy anything from Dolce & Gabbana Beauty until you watch reviews, whether it be mine or somebody else's, because there's a lot of good stuff to pick up, but then there's some stuff to avoid. I'm gonna keep on testing them, and I will get that review out very, very shortly. Natasha Denona, surprise, surprise, is launching yet another clean beauty product. This is gonna be a part of her Hy-Glam line, which is the one that's kind of like clean beauty, skincare infused. You guys know what I mean. This is the Hy-Glam Powder Foundation, which, by the way, thank you for calling it what it actually is, a powder foundation, and not making up like some other random category when it's just a powder foundation. It says right here that the Blurring Flex Tech trademark hybrid powder delivers a poreless, oil-controlled, perfected second skin finish while caring for your skin, and it is in 36 shades. The shade range looks pretty good. It goes all the way from very, very light to very deep, so that's great, and it promises a matte finish, a medium buildable coverage. It protects the skin against environmental stressors, supports skin natural elasticity and hydration. It is anti-inflammatory, and it also comes in a refillable pan, so they're refillable. So that's good, and it's gonna retail for $55. Pretty expensive, but I'm not that surprised, you know, from Natasha Denona. And you're probably paying somewhat for that component, and then the refills from then on will be a little bit cheaper. So I guess that's good if you end up actually really liking it. This is gonna be a pass for me, okay? I have like the driest skin and I stay far away from powder foundations. I'm not gonna mess around with powder foundations. I already have enough powders and they're gonna take me forever to use up. A lot of you guys were like, are you gonna review the new Hourglass powder? No, I'm not gonna review it, okay? I don't want any more powders unless it's something wildly creative or new or exciting. I really, really don't want it. I do think that this makes, you know, sense for her line. We are going into kind of like the summertime months very, very soon, at least in this part of the world, and these types of products do become very popular. I would love to see just like more foundations in general from Natasha Denona. I don't care if they're a part of this clean beauty line at all. If it's a good foundation, it's a good foundation. If it were a liquid foundation, to be honest with you, I probably would have tried it. But as a powder foundation, I don't think it's gonna be really for me, but comment down below and let me know if you're excited about this. Here is something that I am excited about, however. These are from Danessa Myricks. These are gonna be launched very, very soon. These are a part of the Yummy Skin collection. They are the Yummy Skin Lowlighters, and I totally don't need these, but they are definitely going to be a yes. If you recently watched my, top 10 spring obsessions video, then you guys will know I'm really into the glowy blurred skin look, and these just look so, well, So yummy, okay, as Danessa Myricks would say. These are basically, they kind of look like the Yummy Skin, what is it, Flushed? The blushes, the Yummy Skin blushes, but kind of like a highlighter version, except she is calling them Lowlights, which I don't know. I don't know if that is, once again, brands just trying to pretend that it's something else. Like, no, it's not a highlighter, it's a lowlighter, but I don't really care because these look really beautiful. They're going to be coming out in 4 shades. The first one is called Unbothered. That is a mauve pink gold. The next one is Low Key, a peachy gold. Incognito, a tan gold. And then Off the Grid, a cinnamon gold. And they're going to be available on May 6th on their website and also at Sephora. I'm going to be snatching these up. They look so gorgeous. I'm probably going to get the 2 lighter ones, which I think are Low Key and Unbothered. So the peachy one and the pink one. The other ones look good, but they look maybe a little bit too warm for my skin tone. So these are going to be a yes. I'm very excited for these. Do I need them? No. But I do like the Yummy Skin formula because in the summer, it's a little bit more mattifying. Like, it gives you the look of a cream on the cheek, but because it has that like Upsolite technology, which I'm pretty sure these are also going to have, it does a good job of not getting like greasy and like sweaty or dewy by the end of the day, and they are very, very long wearing. So I feel like this is going to be a really beautiful product for the summer. New from Guerlain, we have a limited edition bronzer for this spring and summer. This is called the Terracotta Superbloom bronzer. This is shade 03 medium warm. That's going to be like the base, and it has a blush in bright pink, blush in intense coral, and then highlights in fuchsia rosa. This is going to be a pass from me, and I will explain why. There are 2 reasons. One of them might not be an actual reason, and you all will have to help me out with this. Reason number 1, every time they do one of these, it's in 03 warm. 03 warm is exactly as described. It's very warm. It's too warm for my skin tone. It's probably one of the more orange ones that I have in my collection. It's a little bit too deep for me, and you guys know, like, most of the time, I like to play around with different bronzers. I can usually make them work, but this is just, it's not a good shade for me. I really get annoyed that they only launch one every single year. They really should be launching like minimum 2 or 3, because if you have a deeper skin tone, you can really never enjoy these limited edition bronzers. And then similarly, I mean, I can't even enjoy them being on like the fair end of the spectrum. I wish that they would come out maybe with less, but for more skin tones. I would much rather recommend the new Chanel ones because those have released in 5 shades, okay? So take note, Guerlain. So that's reason number 1, okay? I don't like the actual shade. Reason number 2, they always release these beautiful bronzer creations, and then the colors, like anything else that isn't the bronzing powder, is an overspray. An overspray. That is so lame. That is so lame, Guerlain. Come on, like, you are a luxury brand. You sell ridiculously priced fragrances and all of that kind of stuff, and we gobble it up because I love Guerlain. I'm not gonna lie, I really like that brand. I really enjoy a lot of their products, but it really annoys me when they come out with gorgeous things like this that would totally be up my alley and I would totally review on my channel, but it ends up being an overspray. So please let me know in the comments, is this an overspray? Because I've commented on this post and no one has answered my question yet. I should probably watch a review. Sorry, maybe I should be more prepared for this, but I haven't watched any reviews, so I'm just crowdsourcing this question, friends. Is this an overspray or not? Hopefully we can help out some other people in the comments as well if they're interested in this, but those are the 2 reasons that this release annoys me and that it is a pass. Here's another one that kind of annoys me. This one is from YSL Beauty. They have released yet another version of like a soft tinted lipstick. These are the YSL Candy Glow Tinted Butter Balm. It says right here that these are a smooth buttery lip balm providing soft shine and a sheer flush of color infused with shea butter and maracuja oil for smooth, hydrated lips, delivers fast-acting moisture for smoother looking lips, while pH adjusting pigments reveal a custom color for each person. It looks like they might only be available in 6 shades. They're $40 each, and they are already available at Sephora, so I will link them down below. Now, why does this annoy me, okay? It annoys me because they just reformulated the Love Shine ones. They just did a huge promotion for those, and now it's like they're already coming out with more. It just feels like more of the same. They do have a little guide here to kind of tell the customer the differences between them. So the YSL Love Shine is supposed to be a lip oil stick. The Candy Glaze is supposed to be like a lip gloss in a stick. And then the Candy Glow, these new ones, are supposed to be a tinted butter balm. So basically just like a tinted lip balm is essentially what they are. And they probably don't have that many shades because it's like, how many tinted lip balms can you make before they basically all look the same on the lips, which is kind of how I feel about the Dior, what do they call it? Dior lip glows. Those are really beautiful, but it's like, I don't need like 7 or 8 different shades because they all start to look the same at the end of the day. I don't know, I'm just a little bit exhausted in these. They're totally a pass. I don't need any of these. I picked up 2 of the new YSL Love Shines. I think I got at least one of them in the Sephora sale, and I'm really happy with those. If I'm gonna pick up anything else, it's probably gonna be in that Love Shine formula or the Candy Glaze, because I do prefer something that's just a little bit noticeable. If I'm gonna do more of like a tinted lip balm, I usually prefer the Hermes ones that come in the little tubes because I really like the formula of them. They're just incredibly nourishing. They're not very shiny, so it's kind of the same thing, but the formula I think is a lot better. That being said, I did have a couple of you reach out to me and say that you were excited about these because you don't really like shiny lip products. So I guess I can't blame them. Like, it makes sense in the line, but the fact that you need this little guide to like differentiate them does mean that maybe they're all a little bit kind of same but different. And one other thing, and then I will end this rant. YSL on the bottom of the lipsticks, they don't have the shade name, they just have the number. And I'm guessing it's because they're like an international brand and maybe it's different in different languages, but come on, like every other big brand puts them there. So then when I buy a bunch of these lipsticks, I can't tell the difference between them. And if they're like light and tinted, then I really can't tell the difference between them. So then like half the time I either have to like write it on or label it or keep it in its box. And it's just, oh, it's so annoying. Like it literally drives me so crazy. That's the end of my rant, I promise. And then this last one I had to include because it is just so disappointing and ridiculous. This is a new palette that is sneak peek from Tom Ford, and you might think to yourself, oh wow, that looks so beautiful, neutral palette, need to know about that. No, friends, okay? This is just body heat, okay? It's the same thing they keep doing. They just keep releasing body heat in like red packaging, and this time, however, they have this super cool embossing. Like, it's the worst. It's the worst. Like, what is this? You just put TF for Tom Ford in like the lamest embossing ever, and you're just repackaging body heat in a red compact. Are there really like that many consumers going online or like walking in store that are seeing this and they're just so blown away that this is gonna like save your company? I'm just like, I'm scratching my head. I need to know if you guys feel the same way. I saw this and I was like, absolutely not, pass, do not get this, okay? You can probably find body heat on eBay for like half of the price, or you can find it on sale from like a department store, or if there's a cosmetics company store near you, I bet you can find body heat for like 50% off. Do not spend the $90 or $95 that I'm sure this is going to be. It just annoys me, and so yeah, gosh, a lot of rants in this video. It just annoys me, and this is the last product in our Pass or Yes. That is it for our Pass or Yes. Now we're gonna be getting into industry news. I have a couple of stories to talk about today, but I wanna kick things off with Ulta and Sephora. How are each of these companies doing? Who is doing better than the other? Because believe it or not, you know, even though we may be loyal to one of these companies, even though we may shop there often and really like their offering, it doesn't necessarily mean that overall the company is doing super duper well. In fact, one of the biggest stories about this week is about Ulta. Ulta saw their shares decrease 15% this week, and the CEO cited a decreased demand in the beauty sector as a whole as the main reason for that. He cited increasing credit card debt geopolitical tensions, and the upcoming presidential election as the potential reasons for why consumers are hesitant to spend their dollar on beauty products. The article that I read says the sharp decline is noticeable across all price points and product categories, with prestige makeup and hair care experiencing the most pronounced impact. The article also cited some interesting new data from McKinsey & Company saying that customers are going to be spending less on makeup, specifically due to the perceived high pricing of these products. I feel like it's not perceived high pricing, it is high pricing. Like, the prices of everything have gone up. And it also says here that 30% of the consumers that they surveyed are saying that they're buying fewer bonus beauty and personal care products, and instead they are prioritizing, essential things like groceries and clothes for their family and those types of things, because the prices of those have also gone up as well. And just to be clear, for the record, Ulta is not doing super poorly. They're not going bankrupt. They're not having, quarter after quarter losses like Estee Lauder, who we talked about in the last episode, but they are seeing revenue softness. They are not meeting expectations, and that is one of the biggest reasons why their shares decreased by 15%. So consumers are apparently buying less beauty, according to Ulta, according to McKinsey. What are they planning to do about that? It says right here in the article that Ulta wants to reach consumers across every income level, and their CEO says that the company plans to attract these consumers by incorporating new products, that's exciting, improving the in-store experience, whatever that means, and changing its store layout. Specifically what they're going to do, this is what I've read, when you go into an Ulta store and you have the more affordable products on the left, and then you have more of like the prestige and luxury items on the right, they're gonna totally scrap that. Apparently they're gonna mix more of them together, so that if you go in and you're shopping for, maybe a foundation or an eyeshadow palette, you're gonna go to the aisle that has the foundations, and you're gonna see the more affordable products on the lower shelf, and you're gonna see the fancier, more luxurious, more expensive products on the upper shelf. Because, when you go into a store, at least for me, I don't like to just decide, am I gonna buy drugstore or am I gonna buy luxury? Sometimes if I'm kind of forced to go in either section, I discover things or I recognize things that maybe I wouldn't have seen if I'd gone to the other side of the store. And usually consumers, most American consumers, do have kind of like a high-low attitude to their purchases. Like for me, for example, I use very affordable drugstore facial cleansers, but then I also like to use my creme de la mer. There are some categories where I like to save, and then there's other categories where I like to splurge. It's not just one or the other. So they're gonna try and mix up the products a little bit, and I don't know, maybe make the whole store experience a little bit more engaging and not as kind of siloed between drugstore and prestige. Comment down below and let me know what you think of that strategy. I'm gonna share more of my thoughts in just a second, but before I do that, we gotta talk about Sephora. This story isn't over. How is Sephora doing? Because in addition to the economy and everything that we just discussed, Ulta is also citing intense competition with Sephora as another reason for why they are not doing that well. And it's interesting, right? Because Ulta has been bringing in a lot of more prestige and like luxury brands like Charlotte Tilbury, like Chanel, like Dior. These are very popular brands at Sephora, not Chanel. I mean, Chanel isn't even at Sephora. So I've been asking myself, how is Ulta doing compared to Sephora? Because I thought that Ulta would be absolutely killing it. But you know what, friends? I guess I was wrong, because 2023 was cited as a record-breaking year for Sephora. It says here they saw a 25% increase during that year, and beauty was the best performing sector at LVMH, which is the parent company that owns Sephora and Louis Vuitton, Moet, Hennessy, lots of other brands. In fact, they saw a slight decrease. They're not seeing as many consumers purchasing luxury, but with beauty, it was a very, very different story, and Sephora had a record-breaking year. So what is the reason for that success, you might ask? In my research, I can attribute it to a couple of different things. The first one is the success of Sephora in Kohl's, and they have been rapidly expanding those stores, so that has really allowed them to expand their footprint. Ulta is in Target stores, so they've kind of been doing something very similar, but apparently it is working for Sephora. A lot of people have suggested to Ulta that they try and make the like mini Ultas in the Targets more representative of like what you would find if you actually went into a full regular Ulta. Comment down below if you are more familiar with these types of retail models, if you've been to the Ulta in a Target or the Kohl's in a Sephora. What is the experience like? Do you like one more than the other? I at least for the past couple of years, have not lived near an Ulta or a Kohl's or really like a full-blown Target, because I lived in downtown Boston and we just didn't have those there. So comment down below, let me know, is one better than the other? Because apparently Sephora is doing very well with Kohl's, and Ulta has also cited that whenever they open up a new store, whether it be in a Target or a standalone, that Sephora usually comes in and opens one like a block away or a street away, etc. Another reason that Sephora did very well last year is, remember, they relaunched in the UK. They launched in the UK years ago, and apparently it did not go very well. The execution was not very good. Sephora didn't exist in the UK for a while. They relaunched last year, and apparently it's been a big success. I think their flagship store is doing multiple times the volume that they thought that they were going to do. I think they were very, very cautious. So the UK, at least at the moment, is performing very well. I've also seen here that they've been rapidly expanding into Europe and also the Middle East, whereas Ulta is only in the US. It's not a global company. If the US, if that economy, if that consumer is not spending that much on beauty, Ulta's gonna be very, very susceptible to that, whereas Sephora can kind of expand into new markets, maybe ones where the economy or the consumers are a little bit different in their spending habits. And then the last two reasons that I found in my research, which might be a little bit controversial, are number one, the influx of younger customers at Sephora, not only Gen Z, but also Gen Alpha. I mean, how many commentary videos have we seen on YouTube about the Sephora kids, these like 11 and 12-year-olds who are going into Sephora and wanting their parents to buy them like super luxury or prestige skincare like Drunk Elephant. They are getting interested in beauty. They're interested in like anti-aging, which is really sad. I'm not going to comment on that in this video. There's so many other videos about that on YouTube, but that also has contributed to their growth. They're just getting a lot more younger customers through their doors, and they rely a lot on kind of buzzy, viral, TikTok-y types of products, and I think that maybe they do a better job merchandising those to that customer base as well. And then the last reason, which once again might be a little bit controversial, this might be exciting to you or it might be annoying to you, but the Clean at Sephora products and just the marketing of that group of products as a whole has been very successful for Sephora. It says here that 5 of its 8 makeup bestsellers are certified clean at Sephora. It could be because they're just good products and maybe they went viral or something like that, or it could be the fact that, you know, they have that clean beauty stamp, clean at Sephora, but that's also something that has been really, really working for them. We discussed, I believe it was in the last episode, you know, there are more customers coming through these doors, whether we like it or not, or whether that's something you care about or not, that are asking for clean beauty or certain, you know, ingredients to be omitted. So that is the other reason that I found that they are doing particularly well over the past year. So what do you think about all this? Comment down below, because I would love to hear your guys' thoughts. A lot of you tell me that you love shopping from Ulta, you prefer it to Sephora, you like their loyalty program a lot more. Maybe that loyalty program is one of the reasons why they're not doing well. Maybe they're giving away too many coupons. Who knows? I hope that they don't, you know, diminish the loyalty program. What do you like or dislike about Sephora, and the same for Ulta? Are you surprised by all of it? Because I kind of thought it would have been the other way, because I see a lot of brands exiting Sephora and I see Ulta scooping up more brands. It really might just be because Sephora is more of a global presence. You know, for example, Natasha Denona, she is not selling at Sephora in Canada anymore. Many of you Canadians out there have told me about this, and I didn't see her launch anything new, I don't think, for the Sephora sale this past year. She came out with all these products after the Sephora sale, so she seems to be putting more eggs in the Ulta basket. So all of this is just, I don't know, kind of surprising to me. And then I would also love to know from you all, what do you think Ulta should do to maybe improve? What do you think that they can do to kind of differentiate themselves? Once again, I don't really know a lot about the Ulta in the Target. Like I've seen it, but it just never really attracted me. But I would love to hear all of your thoughts. I definitely kind of like the idea of them switching up the store layout, because like I said before, I'm probably not gonna go to the drugstore side, but maybe if it was mixed up, I would see things that I wouldn't have purchased already, and I would buy more stuff if it was mixed together, and vice versa. I'm not really sure if shoppers shop that way, where like they choose one or the other, but I would love to hear your feedback. I also would really like to see Ulta double down on the in-store experience and the customer service. If they made it feel more fun and friendly and kind of helpful and maybe neighborhoody in a way, I would be more likely to go to an Ulta, because Sephora, as much as I like Sephora and I'm kind of more of a Sephora girl, I can never get anybody to help me in Sephora. They never have enough staff, or they're just busy helping somebody else. So anytime I need like a foundation match, I feel like I'm waiting around, and then there's just too many young kids in there as well that I don't want to deal with. So then at the end of the day, I don't go into the store. I think that's another opportunity for Ulta. But the biggest thing I would like to see from Ulta, this is my personal opinion, is I would like to see more exclusive products, because at least in my realm of luxury beauty, and maybe some of you will agree with this or you can relate to this, every time there's a new collection that comes out, I get questions, is this going to be available at Ulta? And the answer is almost always no. It's not. Anytime there's limited edition stuff coming out from Dior, Chanel, Charlotte Tilbury, literally any brand, Ulta doesn't have it. They don't have any of the seasonal collections. All the department stores get it, but Ulta does not. And I don't know, maybe it's the loyalty program. Maybe a lot of these brands don't want to be discounted, and so they're like maybe not included in that. I don't know. They don't have the products that I want, and that's the biggest reason that I don't shop from Ulta, because I would be all in that if they had more of these luxury products. I would like to see them bring in more products, but also more exclusive things. So I know I can go to Ulta to kind of get the next best thing, the next hot thing. I feel like they just have the core line of everything, whereas Sephora has done a pretty good job, not the best job, but they've done a better job getting in more of like those viral products, and also kind of limited edition ones as well. So those are my thoughts. Once again, let me know your own personal analysis in the comment section down below. Woo, that was a lot, but believe it or not, I still have 2 more stories to talk about in this episode. So if you still have a little bit of time to spend with me today, I would love for you to stick around. The next story that we're going to be talking about is about Deciem. If you've never heard of Deciem, they are the company that owns The Ordinary, a very popular line. And if you don't know who owns Deciem, it is Estee Lauder. To see the connections here, in the last episode we talked about Estee Lauder. We're not done. There's actually surprisingly a lot of news about Estee Lauder companies. If you do not know this, Deciem doesn't own just The Ordinary. They are actually a portfolio of brands. It just so happens that The Ordinary was the one brand in that portfolio that really took off, and so that's where they put most of their resources towards growing The Ordinary and that line of products. But they do have other brands in their portfolio that they've kind of been maintaining, and there's one in particular that Estee Lauder is putting more resources and funds toward, and that brand is called NIOD. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. The name NIOD is an acronym for non-invasive options in dermal science. Comment down below if you've used this brand. The Ordinary is a brand that is rooted in simplicity, right? A lot of us are familiar with The Ordinary. The packaging is very simple and clinical. The price point is very low. A lot of times it's only like $8 or $10 for a product from The Ordinary, and usually there's like one ingredient that is the star of the product, right? Azelaic acid, niacinamide, sodium hyaluronate. Very simple and kind of makes skincare a little bit easier to understand. With NIOD, it still has that clinical feel, but like not so much the simplicity, okay? There's more mystery in the formulation and more buzzwords. I'm gonna read you the names of some of their best sellers as mentioned on their website. Fractioned eye contour concentrate, modulating glucosides, superoxide dismutase saccharide mist. I guess it's a facial mist. Neck elasticity catalyst, hydration vaccine. Are any of these appealing to you guys? I'm not like bashing these. I just think this is really interesting. So comment down below if you have used any of these. While this company does have a core customer base, it didn't perform as well as The Ordinary, probably because of the price, because a lot of these products are like $50, $60, $70. It has a much higher price point compared to The Ordinary. And a lot of people were saying that this brand was probably ahead of its its time. A lot of us didn't know about these ingredients, you know, even 5 years ago. Now you see niacinamide in like every skincare product at Sephora. Even every makeup product, okay, had hyaluronic acid in it. Even powders had hyaluronic acid in them. So now we're very familiar, maybe not very familiar, but the average consumer is more familiar with these ingredients and also just kind of more into skincare in general. So Estee Lauder is kind of taking a bet on this and thinking maybe this was ahead of its time and maybe this is a new opportunity for us to kind of bring in the higher end skincare consumer. But is this brand too complex? I feel like that's the big question here. Would you want to use something called modulating glucosides, or would you want something that seems a little bit more accessible, more familiar, more friendly? Will this brand compete too much with The Ordinary? Apparently the skincare, apparently the science is like much more advanced than The Ordinary. They take some of it and it's kind of watered down for The Ordinary products, but like, is that going to resonate with consumers? Are they really going to pay sometimes like 10 times the price for something that, you know, was basically produced by the same company? But actually Estee Lauder and Deciem are kind of banking on that complexity as being like the allure of the brand. This is going to be marketed to a much more higher end consumer, and where The Ordinary products are probably going to be a little bit more like trend driven, these products supposedly are going to be more lab driven. So they're not going to say, oh, we need to have exactly this. It's going to be whatever the lab comes out with, any kind of breakthrough, any kind of good product. That apparently is what they are going to be launching. I would love to hear what you think about this strategy. I will link the NIOD website down below so you can check them out and their products. I actually think that it's pretty smart. The Ordinary has already seen huge success, and I do think that NIOD was probably ahead of their time. I think during the pandemic, so many of us were really into skincare, and while maybe we're not buying as much skincare and cosmetics as we were during the pandemic, I do think that a lot of us know more about the ingredients, and I do think that that sort of clinical skincare is definitely popular, and there is certainly a niche of consumers that are going to kind of go towards that. I really think that this is a brand that could probably compete with like an Augustinus Bader or a Dr. Barbara Sturm, and I really don't think that consumers are going to know that these products are created by the same company. I'm sure if you're selling something for $8, or I guess I would hope if you're selling something for $8, it probably isn't as, you know, involved of a formulation as something that's being sold for $70. But regardless, I think that there is a customer for each, and they're each going to be marketed to a little bit differently. Let me know what you think about that. I was actually thinking about this as I was doing my skincare the other day, and my dermatologist just recommended this serum for me. It's kind of like for my redness and some hyperpigmentation. And I was like, you know what? This looks exactly like the NIOD products. It's like I'm using things like this, very clinical, over-the-counter. This isn't prescription, by the way. Over-the-counter products that could be sold and marketed, you know, by dermatologists, or in the same way, like I said, that an Augustinus Bader might be branded. So I definitely think there's a consumer that likes this. Apparently I'm that consumer as well. So comment down below, let me know what you think, and let me know if you would buy something from this brand. The last story that I have for you guys today is from a company that maybe you guys haven't heard of before, but you definitely have heard of their portfolio brands. This company is called Puig, and they are now exploring an IPO. You may have originally recognized this company from the luxury fragrances that they've licensed. They produce all of the Jean Paul Gaultier and also very popular Paco Rabanne fragrances, and then more recently they are the company that owns Charlotte Tilbury. They also own Byredo, and they also own Dr. Barbara Sturm. And unlike Estee Lauder, they are doing very well. They saw a 33% earnings growth in 2023. They're expecting a valuation between $8 to $10 billion, which is going to put them around the size of like a Coty or a Shiseido. They will continue to focus on makeup and skincare, and a lot of people are saying they are poised for success specifically because of their diversification. Fragrance, I think, is still performing very well. I'm hearing from a lot of brands like LVMH, for example, who saw that 25% increase in beauty, that a lot of that came from some of their star fragrances. Puig is also experiencing that as well, but then they've also acquired some of those brands that don't really like cannibalize each other, like Charlotte Tilbury and Byredo, two very different brands, and there's also Paco Rabanne Beauty as well. So that also is not super similar. So a lot of people are saying it's because of their diversification and just how much much they've been able to kind of intrigue both European markets, US markets, and other global markets. That is really the reason for their success. So I feel like if we've learned anything today, it's that diversification is definitely key. And that is it. That is everything that I have for you this week. I hope that you enjoyed this episode of What is New in Luxury Beauty. If you like this episode, please don't forget to give me a big thumbs up. Please don't forget to tag me in any interesting industry news or new makeup releases that you see on social media if you want me to feature them in future episodes. That would be a huge help. Down below, I'm going to link all of the social media accounts that I featured in this episode along with the articles in case you want to follow them or give any of those a read. Don't forget to comment down below letting me know all of your thoughts. Subscribe if you haven't already. And with that, friends, I hope that you see some beauty in your day, and I will see you in my next one. Goodbye.